So for our lesson for today, we are going to talk about our rational numbers. So we have here, actually, we are going to do some drills, but the drills will be later on the end part of our discussion so that um, dili ta madugay. Okay, and then we are going to have the properties of operations on set of integers, and we have the operations on rational numbers. Okay, so um, what do we mean by integers, gani class? What is integer, gani? Can you still remember what is an integer?
A whole number, number is not a fraction.
A fraction which is not a number which is not a fraction. Okay, it can be, we have here whole number. A whole number, a number that is not a fraction. Okay. But if we're going to have integers, unsa man gyud to sila? Is it like whole number only? Di ba naman to siya right side and then na siya left side? So, unsa man to siya? Number line. Yes, we use number line in our integers. But what does integers comprises or composed of? Unsa to itong makita sa integers class? Okay, we have the answer from Momongan. Integers are like whole numbers, but they also include negative numbers. Or shall we say, it is the set of numbers which has positive and negative numbers. Teacher, dili ko kita sa imong screen. Okay, maybe na ay internet problem, so you can leave sa answers and then go back lang. Okay? So, mo to siya tong integers class katong na positive and then na ay negative numbers. Okay, don't forget that one. When we say integers, positive and negative numbers. Not only whole numbers class ha, because whole numbers mag-start man tag 0 until to the positive only. But how about those negative? They are also integers man. Okay? So, good job. Now, this time is we're going to skip sa ang drills ha. Actually, we have here the drills. So, makita na ninyo ang mga answers sa drills. Okay. So, we have here now our properties on operations of set of integers. So, since last time, we are talking about operations of integers or operations of integers. So, unsa man to silang atong mga operations nga gigamit last time class? What are the four fundamental operations? Anyone? Giunsa man to natong integers last time? Number line? No, not number line. Unsa man tong atong four kabok operations gigamit last time? Okay, we have subtracting. Very good, Derilo. Unsa pa man, aside from subtracting, we have addition, subtraction, division, and multiplications. So those are our four operations of integers. Okay, so nakalimot na ang uban sa. So, these four operations of integers we discussed last time has different properties as well. Okay, and I think it has six properties. And we're going to start with the first one, which is closure property. Okay, so please read closure property, Ayana.
Closure property. Two integers that are added and multiplied remain as integers. The set of integers is closed under addition and multiplication.
Okay, thank you, Ayana. So we have there ang closure property daw. It can be used in addition and multiplication. So it will remain as integers if we are going to add or if we are going to multiply. So we have here our sub of closure property, which is our closure property of addition. So we have here for real number states that if A and B are real numbers, then A plus B is a unique real number. So we have here, saba kay kapahawa na klase ko. So we have here, there are real numbers, then A plus B is unique real numbers. Or meaning to say, we cannot change our answer. Okay, kung may tag closure, mauna gyud siya. That is the fix. So as you can see in our example, adding two real numbers produces another real numbers. So we have there 15 plus 16, that is 21. Okay, in which we cannot change that one into negative 21. So meaning to say that is in closure. So the number 21 is a real number. Okay, so that is closure property of addition. Kaya nag-plus man ta. Okay, so any question of this first property? Questions? Or understand ra? Asa kadapit naglibog? Asa dapit naglibog mumongan? 16 plus equals. Yes, yes. Here, na-type po din siya, 15 plus 6 ra na siya class. Not 16. Okay? Not 16, but 6. That is typo. Because we have there 5 plus 6, that is 1. 11, so bring down 1, carry 1, and then 1 plus 1, that is 2. Not 16 kasi it's only 6. 15 plus 6. Okay. Yes, so sorry for that one. Yeah. Okay, any other questions? Very good. Amomongan identify the mistake here. Okay, any questions? Okay, Nana. How about the others? Kano na siya class half? 6. Okay. Now let's go to our next one, which is the closure property of multiplication. So for real numbers states, if A and B are real numbers, then A and B is a unique real number. So we have here an example of 26 times 12. So as you can see, if we're going to multiply this one, ang mugawas ra niya is 312. And it is fixed class. We cannot change that one into like 38 because we are doing here multiplication man. Okay? So actually in closure property, we are just adding and we are just multiplying, in which the numbers or the result should be real numbers. Okay? So we know naman what are real numbers. It could be whole numbers, it could be integers. Okay? But not katong na mga square root ang mugawas, imaginary numbers, dapat dili ingon ato. Okay? So that is for closure property of multiplication. Okay, any questions? Okay, none. Now let's go to the next property, which is commutative property. Okay, so please read commutative property, Sanya.
Uh, Commutative property: changing the order of two numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change the value.
Okay, very good. So in our commutative property, changing the order of two numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change the value. So here in our commutative property, only addition and multiplication should be applied. Okay, subtraction and division are not commutative because ma-change man ang ilahang answer or ma-change ang value nila. So we have here in addition, we have A plus B. If we're going to change their order to B plus A, their answers are still the same. And same as well with multiplication, A times B, that is also equals to B times A. So it's either we're going to shuffle or to reorder the numbers, their answers are still the same in both addition and multiplication. So we have here some examples that you can see on the screen. So we have 2 plus 3, that is positive integers man. So if we're going to change ilahang order, which is 3 plus 2, so kani 2 plus 3, that is 5, 3 plus 2 is 5. So they are still the same. Okay, that is the first commutative property using addition. Okay, and now we have here another example. Both negative ang given, so we have negative 16 plus negative 5. And then negative 5 plus negative 16. So pilay result ani class? Negative 16 plus negative 5. Pilay result ani? What we're going to do? Same sila og sign and then plus or addition. What is the answer here? Crow, crow. Okay, and say answer. Okay, we have from Umongan, that is negative 21, which is correct. Okay, di ba ningon man ta if mag-plus ta and then same sila og sign, ato rang i-add ang duha and then kapihon lang ilahang sign. So since negative 16 og negative 5, same man silang sign, so i-add nimo ang 16 og 5. That is 21. And then kapihon ra nimo ang negative, so that is negative 21. Hala, nakalimot na sa atong
Kung nakatulog
lesson
siya, sorry.
lesson. Okay. So if we're going to exchange their orders, so we have negative 5 plus negative 16, di ba? Parihara man class, no? If we're going to add this one, negative 21, gihapon siya. Okay. So that is commutative property gihapon. Now let's go to number 3. We have here 100 plus 99 equals 99 plus 100. They are both the same, which is 199. Okay, so those are for addition. Now, any questions sa commutative property? Any questions?
No, sir.
No. Okay. Now, let's go to number 4 example. So, this time is we're doing multiplication already. So, 2 times 3, and then i-change na to yung order to 3 times 2. Both of their answers are 6. Diba? If i-multiply na itong 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 2, 6 gihapon. Okay, and then we have here another one. Negative 4 times negative 15. And negative 15 times negative 4. Okay, pilay answer class if negative 4 times negative 15. Multiply na siya, dili add. Okay. Is it negative 60 or positive 60? Remember that this is multiplication. Ding, 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 ding. Oy, I think nakalimot na gyud. So if we are going to have multiplication and division class, di ba? Ningon man ta nga, if same gani ilahang sign sa multiplication o division, ang ilahang answer kay positive. Pero if unlike signs gani ang given, ang answer negative. Hala. Masuko gyud to si kuan class. Si multiplication og si kuan division kay inyo rang gikalimtan. Okay. So you have there negative 4 times negative 15, that is positive 60. Negative 15 times negative 4, that is also positive 60. Okay, so don't forget that one class. In multiplication and division, same sign, positive ilahang result. Bisag positive, positive, negative, og negative, positive ilahang answer. But if unlike signs, positive, negative, ilang answer is negative. Don't forget that pattern class because one mistake sa pagbutang nimo sa negative, wrong na na siya. Okay? Wrong na imong answer dera. Now, let's go to number 6 example. We have there 10 times 25 equals 25 times 10. Okay, that is 250. Very good. Which is equal gihapon sila. So that is our second property, which is commutative property. Okay, so now any questions for our commutative property?
None, sir.
Okay, none. Sige, unsa ganito tong number 1 ganina? Unsa ganito siya nga property? Unsa ganito ang before aning commutative? We have
Closure.
closure. Very good. Closure property. Now, let's go to the third one, which is associative property. So we have here, please read Aribato, associative property.
Is that the teacher?
Changing the group.
Okay. Changing the grouping of numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change its value.
Okay, thank you, Cassandra. So we have there, associative property is changing the group of numbers that are either being added or multiplied does not change its value. So applicable gihapon siya sa tuang addition and multiplication of integers. So we are going to use now grouping symbols, or shall we say our parentheses. Okay, kung asa nimo ibutang ang parentheses, their values will not change. Okay, so as you can see there, it is an illustration. So we have for addition, we have quantity A plus B, and then plus C is equals to A plus quantity B plus C. So equal lang gihapon na siya class. And then if we have this one, quantity A times B times C is equal to A times B times C. Okay? So that is how associative property looks like. Naa na siya'y parentheses. And the parentheses will not affect the value of your sum and your product. Okay, so let's look at an example here. So we have here quantity 2 plus 3 plus 4. And then diri is equal to 2 plus quantity 3 plus 4. As you can see, nasa first part or sa 2 plus 3 ang parentheses. And then ang second is nasa 3 and 4. So if we are going to solve that one, ang ato i-check kung pareha ba sila og answer. So we have there 2 plus 3, that is 5. And then plus 4, that is 9. And then we have there 2. And then 3 plus 4, that is 7. 2 plus 7, that is equal to 9. So as you can see, their sum does not affect even though na sila'y or the parentheses is lahi na ang gisulod. Okay, so that is what we call associative property. Okay, so any questions?
None, sir.
Okay, this is for addition. Okay, how about the others? Any questions?
Okay, I guess, sir.
Okay, ra. Actually, class, nakuha naman ni ninyo kanang na-discuss na ni ninyo when you were on in your elementary. But at those times, wala lang jud to'y kanong mga integers. Whole numbers ra inyong gigamit. But this time is ato siyang gi-apply sa tuang integers. Okay? Ka-familiar mo na may associative sa una, na may commutative, na may closure, na may distributive. Those are still the properties that we're going to use in our integers. But this time, naano lang tayo mga negative numbers, positive numbers. Okay? So now, let's go to our example. Yeah, bitaw. Okay. So, mara jud ang changes ani class, ang symbols na lang. So, we have here another set of examples for our associative. So, we have again 10 plus 5, quantity 10 plus 5 plus 8 is equals to 10 plus quantity 5 plus 8. So, if you're going to check that one, pwede sa ninyong i-check. You have there 10 plus 5, that is 15. And then plus 8, that is 23. And then copy 10. And then, di ba, sa ato ang kuan class, basi naglibog mo hala teacher, nganong nag-una kag parentheses. Nagamit ta og PEMDAS ani class. Okay, can you still remember PEMDAS?
Kinda, sir. PEMDAS.
Kinda. Class, dili jud na ninyo kalimtan inyong mga na-learn sa una. Okay? Because those of your learnings will be applied in your next year sa school, and also it can be applied in your real life. Okay? Dili na to kalimtan class. Okay? So we have there, kani siya, di ba? Ika na, i-bring down na lang na nato. And then PEMDAS, that is parentheses, exponent, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So we're going to use PEMDAS. So parentheses tamag first. So 5 plus 8, that is 13. And then i-bring down ng ang 10. And then 10 plus 13, that is 23. 15 plus 8, that is 23. So they are the same. Okay. Now let's go to multiplication. So what if mag-multiply na sadta? Di ba ningon man to nga applicable ang associative sa atong multiplication pod. So we have there 4 times 3. Quantity 4 times 3 times 5 is equals to 4 times quantity 3 times 5. So we have there 4 times 3, that is 12. And then times 5 is equals to 4 times 3, and then 4 times, and then quantity 3 times 5, that is 15. 12 times 5, 60. 4 times 15, that is also 60. So they are equal. So meaning to say, associative property is applicable. And same as well with our last example. So just take note, class, that subtraction and division are not applied in associative property. Okay? So we have here addition and multiplication only. Okay, now any questions for this one? Okay, no questions? Okay. Now, let's go to our next property. Before that one, unsa na ganito atong tulo ka property nga atong nastoryaan? We have, the first one is
Closure.
Closure.
closure. Next is
Commutative.
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 commu-
Commutative.
commutative. Very good. And the third one is
Associative.
Association. Association.
associative. Okay, we have closure, we have commutative, and associative. Now let's go to the next one, which is distributive property. So we have here, when two numbers have been added and subtracted and then multiplied by a factor, the result will be the same when each other is multiplied with a factor and the products are then added and subtracted. Okay, so what do we mean by this distributive property class? So the first one is distributive property under addition. So we have there, as you can see, we have um, two operations that we use here. So ang atong makita diha una, we have addition kanang naa sa tuang parentheses, and then napud tay multiplication. A, and then times man na siya class. Basta magtapad gani ang duha ka letters or na siya'y parentheses, it means to say that is multiplication. Okay? So, as you can see here, gidistribute ra na nato siya. So, unsa nang gidistribute teacher? Ato siyang gi-multiply. So, ang A, gi-multiply na to sa B, so that is AB. And then, ang A, gi-multiply na sad nato sa C, that is AC, and then copy lang ang plus. That is distributive property under addition. But if subtraction, as you can see here, natay B minus C. So we have A times B, that is AB, and then minus A times C, that is AC. Okay. So that is for our distributive property. So let's take an example class to know this one better. So we have here our example, which is 2 quantity 3 plus 4. So we have here this one. Okay. Kana sa kagigamit na ko. So we have here 2 times quantity 3 plus 4. So kung ato na siyang i-check plus, di ba, niyan naman na siya 2 times 3 and then 2 times 4. So we have there, di ba, kung ato ni siyang i-kuan class, i-plus daan ang atong parentheses, we have there 7. And then nawala ang connection ni Nikki. Okay? So you have there 7 and then sa gawas kay 2. And then kung kani po datong buhaton, which is ato na siyang gi-distribute, you will have there 2 times 3, that is 6, and then plus 2 times 4, that is 8. 2 times 7, that is 14. 6 plus 8, that is 14. So meaning to say, they are the same. So that is how distributive property works. Okay, so meaning to say, same radyo hapon siya. If we are going to do this one, i-distribute na to, or same rapod siya kung atong i-add daan, and then atong i-multiply. Okay? Now, do you have any questions for distributive property?
No, sir.
Ah, okay. So, remember lang yun nga, nag-distribute rata niya individually. Okay, now let's go to our fifth property. So, our fifth property would be identity property. So, what is this identity property, teacher? So, we have still 2, which is additive and multiplicative. So, ang identity sa atoang addition class, that is 0. So, nganong 0, teacher? Because any number nga imong adan og 0, ang iyahang mogawas is katong any number. Okay, so as you can see here, a plus 0, that is equal to a. So, morning any number and then adan na tog 0, any number gyapon ang mogawas. So we have here 4 plus 0, that is 4. Negative 10 plus 0, that is negative 10. 99 plus 0, 99. That's why we call this as identity. Meaning to say, murag mirror niya ba? Magawas ra siya as the same result sa ato ang giad. Kay 0 raman ang atong giad, di ba? Wala may changes if 0. Remember that one is that the 0 is the additive identity of any number. Okay? And on the other hand, in our multiplicative property, ang iyang identity is 1. Any number that you're going to multiply with 1, the answer is always the number. Okay, as you can see for our examples, 2 times 1, that is 12. Negative 32 times 1, that is negative 32. 99 times 1, that is 99. Okay, nasabtan ang identity property. Don't forget lang yun, 0 sa addition, 1 sa multiplication. Okay,
Okay,
any
sir.
question?
No, sir.
No
Wala ra, sir.
questions. Okay. Now, sige, let's have daw what are the 5 properties that we discussed today?
Closure.
Closure property,
Closure,
associative,
associative,
commutative,
Commutative
commutative,
distributive,
distributive,
and
and
then
and
additive.
identity.
identity. Okay, so and the last one we have here, our inverse property. So when we say inverse, that is the baliraman class, no? Okay, so we have there identity, inverse property. We have the additive inverse. It states that the sum of any number and its additive inverse is 0. So any number class nga imo siyang i-add sa iyahang reciprocal or sa iyahang bali nga sign. So for example, as you can see here, kung you have there a, and then imo siyang addan og negative a, which is positive man ang usa and then negative ang usa. Ang iyahang answer kay 0. Always na siya class. And then we have here as well, kung negative ang given and then imong addan og positive, 0 gihapon na siya kung imo na siyang i-add. Okay? So we have here an example numbers. For example, we have 9 plus negative 9. Diba? Kuan man na siya kanang ang usa positive, ang usa negative. And then same og number nga 9. So that is equivalent to 0. Negative 58 plus 58, that is equal to 0. 99 plus negative 99, that is equal to 0. That is our additive inverse. Okay, nasabtan ang additive inverse class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, ato lang jud siyang kuanon. Ato ra siyang sabton. Since inverse man, so bali sa iyang sign. Okay, so what is the additive inverse of negative 6?
0,
Unsay niya? Inverse niya.
6,
Okay, 6. So if we're going to add that one, negative 6 plus 6, it is equal to
0.
0. Okay, na-gets ra class?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's go to the next one, which is multiplicative inverse. So in multiplicative inverse, it states that the product of any number and its multiplicative inverse or reciprocal is 1. Okay, kung ganina, kung mag-add ta sa iyahang bali, ang answer kay 0, sa atong multiplicative inverse, kay kung mag-multiply ta sa iyahang reciprocal, ang iyahang answer kay 1. Diba, you know what is reciprocal? Sige, itong reciprocal
Yes.
class?
Reverse, sir.
Reverse. Very good. So we have there an example. We have a times 1 over a. Kaya di ba ang kanang a class, if that is whole number naman na siya over 1 sa pikas. So kung atong i-inverse siya, that is 1 over a. So kung ato na siyang i-multiply, that is equal to 1. Okay, so We have here an example. 6 times 1 over 6. So, let me show a Jamboard kay para mas masabtan. Okay. So, di ba, if we have here 6 nga whole number, di ba, ningon man ta, a whole number can also be expressed into fraction. So, in what form? So, nagani kay whole number nga 6 class, na siya dili makita nga over 1 sa pikas. Okay, that is equivalent to 6 manggihapon, di ba? So, mana siya. So, ang inverse anang 6 nimo class is, kung ato na siyang i-inverse or ato na siyang balihon, that is 1 over 6. So, kung ato na siyang i-multiply, di ba, kung mag-multiply man taog ka ng fraction, that is 6 times 1 man. So, 6 times 1, that is 6. And then, kani siya diri 1 times 6, that is 6. So, that is equivalent to 1. So, manang atong multiplicative inverse kay equivalent to 1 jud siya always. Okay, remember lang, kung atong gibali ang atong given nga 6, sa yahang inverse, ang yahang answer is equivalent to 1. Okay, nasabtan class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so how about this one? If we have here 7, unsay ang multiplicative inverse?
Minus 7.
Minus 7. That is for addition. Same
Negative
ra sa
7 day,
atong
sir.
gibuhat. Same sa atong
Negative
gibuhat.
7 day, sir.
Okay, that is 1 over 7. Multiplicative class, multiplicative. Atong buhaton is reciprocal. Ang katong negative 7, Junel, that is in our addition. Which
Okay,
is
sir. Okay, sir.
nag-change tag sign. Okay? So we have there, ihang reciprocal sa 7, that is 1 over 7. So if we're going to have multiplicative inverse, that is equivalent to 1. Okay, na G ra class, nasabtan ra.
Okay,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Remember sa atong katong additive inverse, ang atong gibuhat nag-change ta sa sign. And then ika-change na to sa sign, yung answer kay 0. But in our multiplicative inverse, kay atong gi-reciprocal ang given. Wala ta nag-change og sign, but we only reciprocal or reciprocate the given. Okay, so we have here example number 2. Negative 22 times, and then yahang inverse kay negative 1 over 22. So that is still equal to 1. Okay, so mao na siya nga tuang multiplicative inverse. Now, we have here another example nga ang gihatag kay fraction. So, 4 over 7. Yahang inverse kay 7 over 4, di ba? Kay ato man siyang gi-reciprocal. So, kung ato na siyang i-multiply class, that is 28 over 28. Kay 4 times 7, 28. 7 times 4, 28. And then 28 divided by 28, that is equivalent to 1. So, 1 jud gihapon niyang answer. Basta, multiplicative inverse. Okay, so now, any questions?
None.
Okay, none ra. Okay. Sige, so unsa ganito atong 6 ka buok class nga kuan nga properties? We have
Closure.
closure,
Commutative.
commutative,
Associative.
associative,
Distributive. Mga ba to?
distributive,
And
Identity.
identity, and the last one is
Inverse property.
inverse.
Ah,
Inverse. Okay, so good job everyone. You got all of the properties. So now, do you have any questions?
no, sir.
None, sir.
Interesting kayo na lesson, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Non-rods. Okay, very good. So now, class, I think we're just going to have our activity today. So this activity is recorded, ha? Okay. So let me off my camera, okay? So that I can share to you. So we are going to play Quiz Is. You're familiar with Quiz Is already, right?
I don't know, Cha.
Or kahutra inyong na-try sa akong klase?
Kahotra.
Kahutra. Okay, so we're gonna play this one.
Graded ni Cha na?
Yes. So, I hope
Okay,
katong
okay,
mga
okay.
wala. Alalahi na din siya forma. Okay, so ako siya i-share ha, moment sa. Okay, I want you to follow that instruction given there. Okay, so if you have another device, you
Unsa
can
among i-type,
use your
Cha?
other device. Okay, if you have another device, you can use other device. But if you're using laptop, it's okay as well. You can go to another tab and then just type in joinmyquiz.com. Okay,
Teacher,
naana mo.
saan ka galing, teacher?
Sa kuan, sa Google Chrome. Okay, mag-add mo og kanang tab and then magbutang mo joinmyquiz.com and then enter the game code which is 737915. Ayaw butangin ninyo og space ang game code class ha 737915. Okay. So po yung mga student here, we have John M, Nicole, Ziggy, Mayumi, Janelle, Darillo, Ayana, and
Teacher,
Cervantes.
pila galing ka, teacher?
737915. Okay.
737915, teacher, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then ako'y 13 ka participants. And I should expect pila mo kamuok gani na dire.